Bonjour, Hip-Hop Shampoo, Shampisi. Oh, it was fire!
Italy, 2:15 GMT against Scotland. Surely a comfortable win for Scotland.
Absolutely. I don't think Scotland will mess that up. I think they'll give them a good drubbing.
Yeah, and just one more point to add. I think Scotland feel, I know they feel aggrieved about the France game and the decision at the end there, because the coach has mentioned it again this week, and it's a quiet week. And I think that's a motivator for them. Not that they need it to win again and go into that last game away at Ireland and have something to play for, whether it's the Six Nations or the what do they call it, the Triple Crown, don't they?
The Triple Crown.
There's a trophy there's a tangible trophy on the table for Scotland to win. Okay,
and I think Scotland need to prove it to themselves as well. And so I think they'll really be up for this with Italy, and I hope they are, because I enjoy watching them. I really enjoy watching Scotland. I also enjoy watching Italy when they run it. They're also a good attacking team, but I don't see how Italy can win this one. And I just think, because of what's happened in the last couple of games, the Scots will really be up for it.
I know a few neutrals will be standing here or listening to this saying, well, no, but Italy drew with France away the last game and came within a whisker of beating France. But
exactly, that's their big game done.
Okay. Oh dear. Come on, Italy, over to you. Prove you can do it. Right, 4:45 on the same day, GMT at Twickenham Stadium. England play Ireland. God, I mean, also, we've just spoken about Italy and written them off. Do you give England any chance whatsoever?
Yes, I do. Because as we've seen in the World Cup, they can pitch up and have an on day if they get things right. The chances of it happening are very slim, but yes,
right,
they are capable of winning.
And Andrew, are those chances of them winning, are they more external factors we're talking about? So forget the two teams at the moment, and we're talking now about wind and rain or an early Ireland red card. Are they the sort of factors that have to come into play for England to win? Or can it be just a very clear day, great day for rugby, no red cards, no yellow cards, and England can still beat Ireland?
I think so. On you take each of those players individually on paper, they should be able to challenge Ireland. Ireland do have form. Ireland do have potentially the more world-class players. But England could put it together for a once-off and beat them. And there's no doubt England will be up for it. But the problem is all the rubbish.
Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence of England?
The evidence is the World Cup. Apparently, they're the third best team in the world. Almost got to the final, missed it by 1 point.
But don't you put that down to their game plan perfectly coming together with the weather?
But they executed the game plan perfectly, didn't they? Look what they did to Argentina with 14 men. So England are a side that we keep saying this. The players that England have are just not playing to their potential as a unit. There are some very, very good players there.
They're all. But
I'm not trying to like beat the England drum here. What I'm saying is, every weekend they go into a game, I'm always thinking to myself, this team should do better. They might win. I don't think they will, but they could. They do have enough good players to win that game.
All right. Well, on that, I need to disagree in terms of the forwards. I don't think maybe one forward could get, but a push would get into the Ireland team. I just don't see, and that's where you win the games of rugby, of course.
Yeah, but I mean, Ben Earl would make it into that team for celebrating.
Well, he'd be world champion. He'd give him the medal now. He's in his own category. He's just excelling, isn't he?
What did Bongi call him? A plastic energy. Gives him plastic energy, which has been totally blown out of proportion, hasn't it? I mean, so ridiculous. I just, you know what? Ireland do have world-class players, but if they're a little bit off, England are a little bit on, that gap closes quickly.
It does, but you're saying they're a little bit off, but in my mind, I just don't see Ireland dropping off at all. I don't see any evidence of them dropping off in games, and that the energy levels they have, whoever they're playing. I know I've spoken about this last week and the week before. It doesn't matter whether it's England, who they'll naturally be up for anyway, or Springboks, or New Zealand, or Namibia, or Georgia. It just seems their motivation energy is at the right level every single time, and there's no drop off. So that means that England will really have to step it up. I don't see world class teams like Ireland going to Twickenham and doing anything other than winning. And one of the issues behind that is, let's just imagine if England turn up and get their defence right. Okay, that's one aspect of the game. But one thing we're all struggling to see with England is what are they actually doing, and what are they doing offensively? I mean, the last game against Scotland, I mean, I think we referred to them as schoolboys. It was insane, the amount of mistakes. I presume that's just a one-off. But when you start hearing things coming in the media at the moment, and you hear Tom Young's talking on his podcast, and last week, which started this off, which I was very struck by, the winger, Johnny May, talking about him under Eddie Jones, and he's played under Borthwick as well. He played under the World Cup, and said there's similarities, but under Eddie Jones, they barely practice offensive attacking play. The reps, it was all about the defensive play, with Eddie's theory being, well, if we dominate scrums and lineouts and win those, the tries and points will come naturally. And Johnny May said when he was at Leicester, I forgot he was at Leicester as well under Borthwick, that the priority was heavily on the defensive side of things. The priority certainly wasn't ever attacking rugby and going through what do we do in this scenario, and let's go forward. And then you hear Tom Young saying, Leicester under Borthwick was the priority was defensive play, not much attacking play going on. And then you're hearing rumours in the England camp that some players are barely touching the ball, attacking players in their reps. And then all of a sudden, I was thinking, no, this can't be true. You're an international team. And then the penny drops. Well, that's what we're seeing. And no wonder they're not cohesive going forward, because these guys are probably right.
It's also inconsistency of selection. I mean, I don't think their backline's been the same. What did they have? They had like 18 different selections at centres, combinations. So just consistency of selection. There is no consistency of selection. I think the pack get a little bit more consistency of selection, but the backline has been just a treadmill of changes and picking different players. I mean, who do they pick at flower? If you don't even know who they get, who's their first choice flower? Ford, Finn, or Marcus Smith?
Ford, I think. But it's a think, I think.
Well, yeah, I would tell Ford to go get a job. That would be what I'd be telling him. And it would be between Marcus Smith and Finn, where do you want to put Finn in against Ireland? Does he need to have that experience? I don't think he's quite ready for that and doesn't deserve it. I'd be putting Marcus Smith in there. I mean, coming back to my point, the whole point for me is just complete inconsistency of selection. And then you're not practicing offense. What do you think's going to happen? Yeah, okay, well, who's the next game? Because I think we've spoken enough about this lot. If England give a dismal performance again on the weekend, I just think we shouldn't talk about it, because I don't think I don't know what more to say about them. Then I think Borthwick's under pressure.
Well, I think you're right, and they've got a summer tour to New Zealand, which could really, just think about that. With Razor chomping at the bit with a new All Blacks team around him.
Yeah, and I hear Mike Cat's becoming available.
Yeah.
Catastrophe.
Okay, so I'll stick my neck out and say Ireland by 20 points at Twickenham.
Yeah, I would say Ireland by 12.
And even if it's relatively close, like within 10 points, you've got Rass's old favourite, the Bomb Squad, the 60 split coming on in the second half just to cement the game or take it away for Ireland. So
I
okay,
mean, just the people they can select in and around the forwards, some of the backline is incredible. Incredible.
And they've got a huge selection of locks now, which is really how the 60 split started those years ago, with Springboks having so many locks, which
and
I
it's often been it's often been their Achilles heel, where they've probably got two really good locks and they don't have any depth. Now you've got like 4 or 5, and you've got suddenly a truckload of loose forwards. So it's going to be interesting when we play them.
Okay, Cardiff, Sunday, 3 o'clock, Wales v France. I'm laughing because I just, God knows what's going to happen here. Well, we know Wales won't go away. Wales will not go away, and they'll keep playing all the way through the game. I don't think they'll score a load of tries, but God knows.
I was just thinking it before you said that. I have no idea what's going to happen in this game. And then you said, God knows what's going to happen here. It's like we could be a lottery show and just like take balls out and say, Wales by 12, France by 6, something like that, because I don't even know what to say about that. I just think the French pack will be too much, and they'll win, and Wales will stay there and thereabouts. I am finding this Six Nations to be a little bit dull compared to previous times. It's just, Ireland are so far ahead. France, they're having an identity crisis. Wales, they're just nowhere. They've got so many youngsters. England are just a lost case. They're like your really naughty teenage son that just doesn't listen and do their own thing and needs help. And then Scotland are kind of Scotland. They win a few, they lose a few, and we say how brave they are. I'm preferring the URC.
Yeah, it's very bitty, isn't it?
And you're talking about also the Six Nations, which in my view is the best competition out of bar the World Cup, in the kind of last couple of rounds. But besides that, I every year look forward to the Six Nations.
I agree with you. I agree with that completely.
Oh, it was